Welcome back to the regular exclusive podcast. And last week we did part one of Cinemacon. We were halfway through the week, and there's a lot left for us to be able, or I guess for us to wait for. But now we have all the info. We got to go through it. So last week we talked about Sony, Warner Brothers, and Neon
at Cinemacon. We
at
should
Cinemacon.
specify.
Yep. So this is part two. So today we're going to be going through all the announcements from Universal, Amazon, Paramount. We're going to skim through Walt Disney.
Yeah, and not all of them, but just like the most important ones to us, at least, that we have comments about. So we'll chat about those, and then I think at the end, you said you want to. We'll each say which one we're most excited about, which studio has us most hyped, right?
Yeah, I wasn't going to throw it on you spur of the moment because there's
okay.
a lot of info to digest, but I texted Renee earlier, say, I want you to tell me at the end of this, what studio do you think you're the most excited for with everything that's been announced? All right, so Universal Pictures, starting off big. We've already heard of it. I think they did the initial trailer on Super Bowl, but Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg is back with Aliens.
Yeah, and all is right. Not all is right with the world, but this feels like a good step in the right direction.
And it looks really tense, really good. From the trailer, the biggest thing I was surprised by was Colin Firth with a beard. He looked fantastic. I don't think I've ever seen him with a beard though.
I don't think so either. And you're right. He did look very different. It almost was like, wait a minute, who the fuck is that?
Like I heard
I
heard his voice and I'm like, who the fuck is doing a Colin Firth impression? And then I saw the beard. I'm like, wait a second.
No, this one looks really good. And I obviously I think they said that Coleman Domingo was there with Spielberg, who made his debut at Cinemacon. So this is his first time actually going.
Oh, wow.
And he said that they've been intentionally keeping imagery or anything from the third act of the movie from the trailers or anything that's been released because they want to maintain the element of surprise, which I love that about Spielberg. And I think it's really exciting that he's back doing like a UFO movie. The big theory people have online, I don't know if you've heard, is that it's a secret sequel to his film from the late 70s, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh.
Which also features UFOs, which would be nuts. I don't know. We'll see. But it has Josh O'Connor and Emily Blunt in it too. Like the cast is pretty crazy. And like, honestly, I love all of the movies that he does with aliens. So I just rewatched War of the Worlds and I'm like, this is incredible. If they're nice aliens, mean aliens, he could do it. So like, I don't know which way this one's going, but I'm hyped.
I was going to say, I think this is his first movie since War of the Worlds that centers around aliens, because I don't count Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, even though that is aliens at the end.
Technically, yeah.
But it's not about aliens. That's about Indiana Jones, and he runs into aliens.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if the BFG is an alien, but
the big fucking giant, you mean? No.
Yeah.
The big friendly giant.
Yeah.
You ever seen that as a kid? You're like, what does that stand for? And now as an adult, I'm like, that I can't remember. Like I knew it was the big friendly giant, but like I saw something the other day that was like, did they really call that guy the big fucking giant? No,
I mean,
it's gotta be something else.
We weren't kids when that came out. That was 2016. So
not his movie, but like the actual. I'm talking about that. There was like an animated one, and that's like an old Roald Dahl story. So
yeah.
I don't think that we were children 10 years ago. Don't worry.
Oh, I mean. In 2016, when I saw the trailer for the BFG, I immediately thought of Doom, which they have a gun in every Doom game, which is called the BFG, and it has an actual meaning to it, but everyone calls it the big fucking gun. That's literally what it does. I was like, a PG big fucking gun movie? How's that gonna work? But, it has no relation.
No, it's actually a delightful film. You should watch it if you haven't seen it. I mean, every Spielberg film is delightful. I even love his musical West Side Story. He made it a really great adaptation.
You said that you like that. I've not seen that, but I have heard good things about it.
I'm convinced he can do anything. I like that he's been doing different genres, and he always really has. So
yeah,
he's one of those guys that just delivers no matter what it is.
Like if you ever wonder, what is a good range of genres that you do, just look at Spielberg's IMDb.
filmography.
It's pretty crazy. Like Indiana Jones, Hook, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Minority Report. Like this is
Jaws.
War Horse, just a
Yeah.
movie about a horse.
And then did his own biopic. That's
He-
pretty fucking crazy. Like I was like, wait, he's making the biopic about himself? That tracks. He's like, if anyone's gonna direct this fucking thing, it's gonna be me. And that's why I loved it. It was a great movie. It really was like cool peek behind the curtain. But yeah, I would say Disclosure Day, what a great way to start off. And like I think that movie is definitely hyped. I know we're not gonna see much more about it, but like I like that because I don't know much about it outside of like the weird noises Emily Blunt's making in the trailers when the aliens are like speaking through her or some shit. So that has me hyped.
Yep. And then the next movie that we were interested in is the movie I think Universal is just banking this entire year on. I
Yeah.
mean, Disclosure Day, they're like, we hope it does well,
It's Spielberg. I mean, I think it will. Yeah.
but if there's any movie that I think has more hype than anything else right now, it's The Odyssey. Christopher Nolan, his
Mhm.
departure from Warner Bros. He went to Universal. They did Oppenheimer. Now they're doing this.
Broke
Like,
all these records.
and like The
This is the
Odyssey,
first
the
film, right? Too. Also, like he said, this one he leveled himself up yet again, even with all of that you just said. Now he's also filmed this entire film for IMAX.
I think it's going to be the first movie that the entirety is
Yeah.
filmed in IMAX.
Of course it has. And I'm like, fucking crazy, man. And he did say though that it was an absolute nightmare shooting the entire movie and I'm for IMAX, but he said it was in all the right ways, like a nightmare.
Yeah,
So
well, I heard the IMAX cameras are like insanely loud. And so it's like
I
if
can
you're
only
gonna have
imagine.
you're gonna have dialogue over these loud ass
This
cameras,
makes
like
me nervous.
insulation around these cameras has got to be crazy. Or worst case scenario, everything sounds like Tenant, where we can't understand a word, anything,
That's what I'm
anything anyone
saying.
says.
That's my number one concern when you tell me that. That made me nervous. I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool then. He's never done that, so it can't be like Tenant, Like if he's never filmed like this, it's gotta be different. But now you're saying that, that makes me very nervous because I feel that of all the movies that he's ever made, I kind of feel like, I mean, maybe Oppenheimer a little bit more, but like the Odyssey, you're gonna need to know what the fuck they're talking about,
Yeah,
right?
they don't have
Hopefully.
gas masks back then.
Yeah.
So like we're gonna see their mouths moving. And if it
This
sounds
isn't
bad,
Bane. Yeah.
like if this is a bad ADR where like all the dialogue is ADR'd and put in after the fact, it's gonna be rough. But I have faith. I love that Christopher Nolan has a commitment to practical effects. Like they built entire ships
Oh
for,
yeah.
for this movie and
I
stuff.
know. Well,
So
the thing that I saw online, which was shocking, because I went online when the first trailer, like little teaser dropped. It doesn't really show much, but people were up in arms, and I was like, I thought expected this to be like a fucking circle jerk for Christopher Nolan over here, and instead they're like, how dare he use that like it's such a muted color palette with like blacks and blues and like nothing, like just such basic colors. Because they said that in ancient Greece and like in these like in this time or whatever, when this story supposedly obviously isn't true, but like supposedly takes place, that like those cultures were extremely colorful and they had like bright colors everywhere. And I'm like, well, it's fucking Christopher Nolan. I think we can give him some leniency. He's proven to us it might not be what you imagine at first, but I think it's gonna work, right? Like let's
I'll,
trust him. And I was just surprised though that I was like, I did not expect to find, and that's crazy because I must have come a long way and people have gone in reverse because now they're complaining about shit. And I used to just hate this guy.
yeah.
But I'm like, hey, I don't think that's a problem. So who knows?
It's so weird whenever people get mad about like color tones and stuff. And it's like, the Marvel movies and DC movies have been some of the most gray toned movies that we've
Yeah.
ever had, where they have pops of color in their costumes, and that's pretty much it. But like, I don't know, if I think about being realistic to that era, which, just for the record, I didn't grow up in. But like
Shocked.
I have a hard time keeping my stainless steel pans looking nice and shiny. So like I could imagine these people that are just covered in, crude metal, keeping them nice and colorful and shiny, especially after a war that just happened. Like I don't
Right.
know what are we getting mad about?
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. Can we just relax? All we know is that, like, hey, for as far as we know so far this year, we have 3 movies coming out with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson in them, and this is another one of them. So
yeah,
I think we should just be happy. Mia Goth is also in this movie. I don't know if you remember. Um,
I
John
forgot.
Leguizamo, Anne Hathaway, Lupita Nyong'o, Benny Safdie, Elliot Page, like fucking crazy this cast, and
Is
then obviously, Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Is Benny Safdie, is that the one who did the Smashing Machine?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a good actor, though. I think
Yeah.
he's the better actor of the brothers.
Yeah, I don't remember the brothers.
Yeah.
So when you say Safdie, I'm like, it's one of them. So I'm just confirming. So it's the one in Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And I think he's playing Agamemnon.
Ooh,
Yeah. He looks like
that's a
pretty.
tall order from Bryan Cranston.
That's, well, you mean Brian Cox.
Oh, right. Cox.
Yeah. Which
Yes.
we're referring to Brian Cox in Troy,
Troy.
which, if you have not seen that movie with Brad Pitt and, oh my God, I could go on all day, but him and Eric Bana, really, and Brian Cox
I
is
mean,
all you need to
I
know.
think we're gonna do an episode on that movie leading up to this
We
because
will.
it's fantastic.
Yeah, because this movie's coming out in July. So, and then Tom Holland is also in this movie, which is crazy.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like, it's pretty nuts. He's playing Matt Damon's son.
Mm,
So
okay.
we'll see. I think that's good for him, and like pretty cool that like just the cast alone is worth the price, like the ticket admission for this movie. But like, I can't wait to see the actual. I think they showed like 18 minutes of footage or like the opening scene or some shit. Like they showed a whole sequence when they
Well,
showed their footage there.
well, and the opening scene for this movie has got to be a war scene because it's got to be the end of Troy, essentially. Like,
Yeah,
because this is the story after Troy when they go home, which
exactly.
Christopher Nolan's pretty good at war scenes, like Dunkirk and stuff. Like, I I'll be pretty hyped for that.
Yeah, me too.
So next on the list, was did not see this coming, but Fokker in Law.
Yeah, I feel like I heard something about this shit a long time ago, and I just chose to ignore it, and now it's here, and I watched the trailer. Did you watch the trailer? Because
I
they
watched,
released that one online.
yeah, I watched the trailer for that. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Meet the Parents.
Mhm.
I haven't rewatched it in a while, but I remember liking Meet the Fockers. I don't think I saw the sequel to that one. It was like the kids,
Little
like
Fockers.
Little Fockers. That's right.
I haven't seen that
I
one.
don't
I
think I
didn't
saw
care
that.
to, but I just saw that like when they were I'm sure this has got to be a bit, but I think Robert De Niro said I saw a
I saw
quote that saying that like Ariana Grande was like like the funniest person he'd ever worked with or something. And
yeah.
it's like, what? Like that's got to be a bit, right? He's
Like
making that up.
Ben Stiller's gonna kill himself after that.
I'm like, yeah, like that's got to be something that they said on stage as a joke, right? I
I
mean,
mean,
there's no way.
I read that and I immediately thought this is marketing talk.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
people love Ariana Grande after Wicked, and so like they're trying to hype her up.
Fuck
And I'm
off,
like,
Ariana Grande. Go eat something, please.
like, like he has done so many movies that I feel like that question is literally impossible for him to answer. Like if anyone is like, who's the funniest person you've ever worked with? Or even just like any who's the blank person who's the best, who's the worst? He could not answer it because he's worked with so many people.
Exactly.
Like it's
And if he was going to
impossible.
answer it, it would be anybody else.
Yeah.
There's no way. Okay. He's worked with fucking, I mean, just imagine out of all the people that he's worked with, there's no way in hell that Robert De Niro even knows who Ariana Grande really is.
Yeah, like it's just it's insane. And yeah, he definitely has not listened to her music or what. I would be surprised if
I
Robert
would
De Niro has
kill
watched any of
myself
the Wicked movies.
if he has watched Wicked or anything with her or
Oh
listened to her
god.
music. Just the thought makes me want to die. I really hope that's not the case.
But I mean, I don't know. We'll see if it's good. I would love to keep those movies funny because they are funny and I like them. But I mean, really, I wanted to ask you one question about Werewolf.
Werewolf. Yeah,
I
let's get that straight. Don't
werewolf.
be going werewolf on me.
So wait, so do they have they announced when that's coming out? Is that coming out this year? Is that the expectation?
Yes, it's coming out on Christmas Day. So he's pulling another Nosferatu.
Oh, so he's going up against what's the other movie that's coming out on Christmas Day?
Jumanji?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll go see fucking double feature of that. Now that sounds great. A Jumanji werewolf. Fucking sign me up.
I mean, if I'm looking at those two movies, I think Werewolf is going to come out on top. I think it's going to beat Jumanji.
I have no idea, but I really don't think so. I would
Ba-
love
ba-
that, but I don't believe so. If you
ba-
compare
Based off how well Nosferatu
Nosferatu,
did,
yeah,
like
we'll see.
you have another movie that's not a sequel, but it's the same guy, similar tone, or the third movie in a trilogy. I mean, the other two
I'm not
movies have
saying it
done really
can't
well.
happen, but I don't think. I think you're fucking crazy for saying that it's definitely going to happen that way. I think it definitely is going to be Jumanji, but like,
I'll make the bet
let's make a bet
right
right
now.
now. Okay,
Opening
writing it down.
weekend, Werewolf is going to win.
Stop calling it werewolf.
My mom always called werewolves
Yeah,
werewolves, and
I know.
the way that this is spelled, I'm like, I know it's not even the right pronunciation of the
It's
spelling,
only
but I'm
because
like,
there's another it's WERWULF, and that for
and
some
I'm
reason
just
makes you feel that I could say woof.
I'm ignoring the L and just saying werewolf.
Yeah, this
spe-
is gonna be. I'm gonna write a letter to him to change this.
And speaking of dogs, all I have to say is I am not excited for a Snoop Dogg biopic. I love Snoop Dogg. I love his music. I love him as a personality and as a person that just pops up in random places of media. Big fan. I don't know if I really need a biopic of him.
I don't know what he's done to deserve a biopic, but I don't know how interesting it would be to watch somebody smoke weed and like fucking
I
who
mean,
knows. I mean, his life I'm sure has been
he
crazy, but
he has an interesting story that I don't know a lot about. So I'm sure there's a good origin story there. But
I mean, I think I saw
that's
something.
all these biopics is the
Yeah.
origin story.
I just saw something that said Cameron Diaz was saying that she used to buy pot from him in high school. And
Now,
so I was like,
if that's in the movie, I'm interested.
that's what I'm saying. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be something where we're really celebrating this person. It's more just like, hey, here's how the fuck we ended up with a guy named Snoop Dogg. Let's see if this makes any sense. They're gonna try and explain his existence, which sounds pretty crazy.
Well, it's like the Biggie Smalls movie wasn't that good. The Tupac, was there a Tupac movie? No, Tupac was just in Biggie Smalls' movie.
Didn't he get his own movie at some point though too?
He might have, but Anthony Mackie played him in the Biggie movie, and
Yeah.
he was good, and he was actually a really good Tupac. Yeah, like a lot of these, I don't know, the biopics for like rappers, they just don't seem to be very good, and maybe it's because a lot of these creators don't listen to their music. I don't know, but like
Yeah.
the best one was Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
And I loved that movie, and
set the bar real high, and now no one can even get close to it because they're just
Yeah.
like, let's do what they did, but worse.
yeah, but like I don't. It could be good. The director that they got for it is the same guy who did Hustle and Flow.
Throwback.
That Terrence Howard movie. And
I remember when 3-6 Mafia won Best Original Song at the Oscars. That was fucking crazy.
Now Terrence Howard is just an insane person. But
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
he
We'll
put
see.
himself there.
Yeah. All right. So moving on.
Yeah.
MGM, Amazon,
I don't care except for I did want to say
Highlander.
Yeah, I sorry. I have nothing to say here. This is all you. I don't want to say shit about Highlander because I don't even know what it is.
This was the movie that I
There can be only one. Is that right?
Yes,
is that from
yes,
Highlander?
that is
Okay.
Highlander.
Then I know maybe what it is.
Highlander is a core movie of my childhood. I watched all of them, and I recognize all the faults in the sequels, and I don't care. They are awesome, and
how many fucking sequels are there?
Oh, there's a lot. There's 3 core sequels. Then there was a Sci-Fi Channel TV show, and then there was a 4th one that didn't include Christopher Lambert. which wasn't good. But anyway, the reason I'm
Yeah.
excited for this is they're coming back. Henry Cavill, so you don't even need the volume on to enjoy this movie.
Superman,
Yeah. Um, he is going to be
the Highlander.
Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod. That's that
Nerd.
he says that name so many times, and he has to say him and his clan. He's playing him. But the reason I'm so excited for this is because one, Henry Cavill, he does movies that he like stories that he's very passionate about. So I trust the
Like The
commitment there.
Witcher.
The Witcher, he's also doing a Space Marine story, and he's a total nerd for that. But Gareth Evans is directing, and Gareth Evans is the guy who did The Raid.
Okay, I was like, not Gareth Edwards, not to
Nope.
be confused with him who did Jurassic World Rebirth. Okay, so many names.
No,
But yeah, okay.
Gareth Evans, who did The Raid, one of the best action movies, and then the movie he did with Tom Hardy last year or something, Hazard, that was really good. So like, this is going to be the most action-packed Highlander ever, and it's going to be awesome. So I'm very excited for that. Now, the thing I'm not really sure if I'm excited for is this biopic of Sylvester Stallone when he was writing and making the Rocky movie. It's called I Play Rocky. And Peter Farley, he has done some really good stuff, and he's done some not so good things.
That
So
was his best stuff also when he was like the Farley brothers.
yeah, like
So
the last thing that he did was like Green Book.
that
Yeah.
won Best Picture, but I still enjoy that movie, but I understand
I-
everything that's wrong with it. But
I never seen it.
oh, you really should. It's a very interesting movie. Like you could totally tell all the criticisms, but aside from all of that, the performances from Viggo Mortensen and
As amazing actors.
so good, and also Mahershala Ali won the Oscar for that too. So it's like just that's his second Oscar that he won. Like I feel like that was back to back. It was like he won Moonlight and then he won that.
Yeah.
Craziness. But either way, yeah, I recommend it.
But yeah, so I mean,
But not this. I don't know what anything about I Play
Rocky and Highlander are both core movies of my childhood. So I don't know about this.
So this studio is like targeting you with these movies because they're like, I know that there's some fucking guys out there who like grew up on that shit that'll come see them. Are these coming out to theaters? Or do you know?
We don't know yet. They're still
like
early.
Some of the Amazon stuff, you never know.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, they're still early on. Like, there's not even release dates, so these might just be announcements. So they must be like pre-production now.
Mm-hmm.
So 2028 probably at best. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I am excited for Spaceballs, the new one. That'll be fun. But
let's I don't care that much about Amazon. Let's move to Paramount Pictures.
I've not heard anything about this until you told me, Ebenezer. And tell us.
Okay, so Johnny Depp is back in a major Hollywood production, which is huge. And he's going to be playing Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol that comes out this November. And it's directed by Ty West, who did he did some of our favorite, like probably our favorite trilogy in recent times, but with X, Pearl, and Maxine. And this is what they've already filmed it. There's photos of Johnny Depp on the set online, so you could see like the crazy prosthetics that he's wearing. He looks so different, but the trailer showed the footage. I think they said Ian McKellen plays like Jacob Marley. Daisy Ridley's in it. And I think it's kind of like leaning into like the spooky stuff, but they did say that like the footage also like of Johnny Depp being like Scrooge, like he's very obviously Scroogey, but like in some of the scenes that they said it was like he kind of was doing a little like how he used to, where it's like he's doing that scream and kind of like almost funny.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I think that'll be a good mix. And also just the fact that he's like, you know, covered in prosthetics. It reminds me of 100%. It reminds me of Tusk, which he's the probably maybe my favorite part of that whole movie. But fucking Rupert Grint is also in this movie, who played Ron Weasley in Harry Potter series. He's playing Bob Cratchit. So pretty nuts. Yeah.
When you told me about this, I was mildly interested just because like Christmas stories that don't really love them other than the ones
This
that
has
we've
also
done.
been
We've done,
adapted about 1,000 times.
yeah. But like as soon as you said that it's Ty West, I'm like, oh, now I'm very interested because like Ty West is so good at like fitting a time period. Like
Right? Exactly.
he's so good. Like he's arguably up there with like Robert Eggers and being able to like pick a time period and just like fit that. Now Robert Eggers works with larger budgets,
And
so like
also a lot longer time periods, like from a lot longer ago. God,
yeah,
I'm terrible at speaking right now. Excuse me, but you know what I mean. And so I feel like this will be a good like test for him to see like matching something that looks like it's definitely like 19th century at least, like early 19th century or late maybe
yeah.
early 18th century. I don't know. I haven't fully like we haven't really seen the footage, but I imagine the trailer will be out semi soon, which is I just can't wait. And the fact that Johnny Depp is starring in it as Ebenezer is just huge. I think that's great.
I wanted to ask you, do you think this has a chance to become your new favorite Christmas Carol? Because you are a ride and die with the Muppet Christmas
Oh yeah.
Carol. Like,
Well,
is there a chance for this?
yes, because Johnny Depp is starring in it, absolutely. And Ty West is directing in it. Absolutely. This is a huge chance. But I will have to see. We'll still have to see. I'm not 100% convinced that it will be my favorite, but like Johnny Depp and Ty West sounds like a really intriguing combo, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm really open. But the Muppets is like fucking perfection. There's no way you could get any more emotion out of me from like any other adaptation than that one. Oh, so good.
Uh,
But yeah, that's the one I'm most excited about, at least from like Paramount. I don't really have any of the other ones that were did anything else
yeah.
excite you from their list? I feel like maybe like it's crazy that they're doing another Jackass movie, Best and Last or
That
something.
that was the one thing I thought is best and last, and I immediately thought if this movie does really well, there's no way it's the last one.
But they're gonna kill themselves making one of
No,
these
it like
eventually if they keep going,
no,
right? Like
it just it won't be them, or they'll come back and they'll just host it like it's a game show. But like
yeah.
Johnny Knoxville is not going to be coming back and doing stunts anymore.
Yeah, no. I mean, it says that he's in this one though. So this one he will be doing stunts. They're not going to have him do a bull thing though, right? There's no
Yeah.
way that he's going to get roughed around. Like he'll die if he does anything
Well,
like
like
that.
I saw the last one,
Yeah, the
and
last one was good.
the last one was good, but I noticed that there was a fair amount of stunts that like they're like, and now the young person is gonna do
The
this.
young guy
Like,
got all the hits, and I was like, dude, this guy's getting fucked. But you know what? That used to be them, so that's the
yeah.
best part. But yeah, that was pretty much the only thing I wanted to call out. But what about you?
The only other one that I thought was funny is that they're doing another Sonic the Hedgehog,
Of
and
course
Jim
they are.
Carrey is confirmed to be coming back. And it's like Jim Carrey must be getting paid so much money.
Like
To,
Robert Downey Jr. money.
yeah, like those are the two guys that they're like, it's a blank check, and it's like you come back, you come out of retirement, you do this, like
But does he have to say he's retired every fucking time he finishes filming and then he has to say, I'm out of retirement again? It's like, just say that you're not
no,
retired. Just say that you're only doing Sonic the Hedgehog and that's fine.
no.
But
See,
the mysterious back and forth, we don't need the gameplay, Jim Carrey.
no,
Just tell us that you're like back at it and you'll be there for as many Sonics as possible.
I am totally okay with this because this is negotiating. Because
That's true.
if
That's
Jim
true.
Carrey says I'm retiring again, now the studio has to pay him even more money
That's
to
actually
come back.
true. All right, never mind. I take it all back. That's genius.
Professional athletes do this all the time. Like
That's amazing.
like
Is that why Tom Brady was
Tom
doing
Brady
that?
retired like
Oops,
4
yeah.
times. Brett Favre retired 4 or 5 times. Like
They need to come up with another phase of that shit then, besides just retired.
yeah.
It means 3 things. But yeah. Do you want to skim through then Walt Disney?
Yeah, you have the only thing that I really had thoughts on when it comes to Walt Disney is fingers crossed, good luck, Doom's Avengers, you need it. But Toy Story 5, I need to catch up on the Toy Stories, but I've had a thought of this and I just
You
want
haven't seen 3 or 4?
I don't know.
3 is the one at the preschool, and by far the most emotional,
I
as the ending in
I've
the garbage
I've
compactor.
heard the first 3 trilogy. It's like it's perfect. Like it's
The
amazing.
4th one was a good one, but it's all and it does actually set the stage for a lot more things, but it did feel like 3 was such a good wrap up that we didn't need it, but, like, 4 is still fun, and also, I mean, it's just we didn't need it at all, but it still was good.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed it, but I feel like I don't know what they're doing with Toy Story 5. Like, stop it. Although
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves he was in Toy Story 4 as, like, some Canadian doll, I wanna
Uh,
say, and he was actually kinda funny, but
well, I've had a thought about Toy Story that I want to share. I think I don't know when, but I think eventually one of the Toy Story sequels is going to be the first fully AI created movie.
oh, I could see it.
They're going to AI clone all of the voices.
Oh, Jesus.
Tom Hanks, like they have it all there. Tom Hanks, like everybody, it's gonna be the first fully CGI movie, and it's gonna be like I don't know, maybe Toy Story 9 or something. But it's like
No.
AI at that point is gonna be so good that they're gonna be like, hey, we have the rights to all of this.
Chase, I don't wanna kill myself today. Don't tell me things like this. That's depressing because 'cause you're so right. If there's anything that they're gonna do, it's gonna be those. That would be so much easier. And it would be so garbage. It would be basically like the live action Moana, which if you've seen any
Oh,
images that they've released, it looks like the SNL skit making fun of the live action Moana, which is the best part. Like, Google what he looked like, The Rock looks like in that, and you're like, "My God, did they even watch the animated version?"
yeah.
It's so garbage. The only thing I really want to call out here besides Avengers Doomsday, which did debut a trailer, which will probably be online if you're looking for
I've
it,
heard it's
it's
not very good.
really. I've
I've
heard that. I mean, I have no idea. I was just reading over the footage. It looks like it starts at the fucking Charles Xavier School, and
yeah.
he's cowering in fear. And I'm like, they brought back Patrick Stewart again. It's like these guys are retiring all the time too and coming back. Then we see him against Thor, or yeah, I guess yeah, Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. Then you get like a look at his mask, and then Thor saying that like this guy's gonna be way harder than anything we've ever gone against, blah blah blah. And I've heard from others online that like they did show that Robert Downey Jr. is using a different voice, so he doesn't sound like
Yeah, he's gonna do
Tony
an
Stark.
accent. He's gonna do an accent.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be like South African or some shit in the comics. I want to say, right?
He's from a country that doesn't actually exist.
Well, whatever.
And I don't know where it is in the
That's
world.
basically
So
South Africa. That accent doesn't sound like it's real. It sounds like somebody's trying to do an accent for something, but they're not quite right. That's why I thought
I
it.
feel like the character's supposed to be kind of like European. So a South
Mm,
African accent would be an
a little
interesting
weird.
choice. Didn't
Well, yeah.
I don't think that worked too well for Leo. People make fun of his accent from Blood Diamond.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it's a hard one to do, and that's why it's like if you're not actually South African, it's like it does not sound good. Like it's too hard to do. Australian, that's great. Let's do that. Or maybe even just they'll probably just do British. But which I mean, Robert Downey Jr. did a British voice when he did Sherlock Holmes, so
Oh yeah,
and
he
that
can.
worked.
Yeah, he can do. He's a good actor. He can probably do a
He
lot of
could do
voices.
anything, but the trailer also did show like it showed Gambit, Channing Tatum in it, and he's fighting Shang-Chi or
Yeah.
Shang-Chi, and Mystique fighting Yelena Florence Pugh,
Hmm.
and something about Cyclops and the Fantastic Four. And I think that they also said in the trailer that Steve Rogers also summons Thor's hammer again, which feels like they're referencing themselves a little too soon here. We haven't built up 10 movies in the meantime that actually are leading. Like this guy, the difference between this and Endgame and sorry, Infinity War is that like they teased Thanos from the first like
Yeah.
Avengers movie and the post credits. They've had 5 different directions here that they didn't know they were going to go, and they were all built up on Kang, and obviously that changed. But the fact that like they didn't, instead of like just jumping forward and going with it, they should have taken the time to still rebuild things and build up to it instead of just like being like, okay, well, we're halfway through, but we didn't build up, so fuck it, we're just gonna go for it anyways. You know what I mean? I feel like they should have
Yeah.
really just started over once that whole King thing didn't work out, because it
Yeah.
just feels like it's not earned, and it feels very like, ugh.
Well, like I heard about the Steve Rogers thing and the hammer, and I'm like, yeah, this is how we know that they are essentially just being like, hey, you don't need to remember anything that's happened since, in
This is
Endgame.
basically
This
Infinity War and Endgame 2. It's
well,
like,
and then they're re-releasing Endgame in theaters,
yeah, to
and
make
they're
more money, of
well,
course.
and they're adding a new scene
Ugh,
with Steve Rogers, and
who
it's
cares?
essentially gonna be at the very end, and it's going. And I think what it's gonna be is when he goes back and he travels and everything, he takes the hammer with him, and I think it's just gonna be a continuation of the nice scene of him and Peggy dancing at the end. But
Yeah,
then
probably
like
nothing.
that Steve gets called to do this, and he brings the hammer with him or something.
Yeah, I'll wait. I'll let other people go watch 4 hours of that footage and then go 4 hours to watch that, because I'm sure they're fucking like
Oh, it's gonna
milking
it's
it.
gonna it's gonna be on YouTube.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
gonna
Or I'll just
it's
hear
gonna
about
be
it.
it's gonna be no more than 5 minutes. It's
Yeah,
probably gonna be less than 3 minutes. Like,
totally. But either
but
way, they're really excited about it. That was like their biggest thing coming out of this. I did want to call out though that apparently there's a movie called Whale Fall that is coming out from Disney, and it
mhm.
said it comes out this October, and it stars Austin Abrams, who's from Weapons, the little druggy guy
Yeah.
who's also in Resident Evil. And it says that they just released, I don't know if it's just a scene, but it was him watching a giant squid get eaten by a massive whale and then facing an attack from this whale and the squid himself while the squid is still in the mouth. And they're
Oh.
like, and I'm like, that sounds insane. And it's a deep sea thriller. That's all we know. But I'm like, fucking yes, sign me up. 'Cause this,
So
like that,
it's Jonah and the whale.
yeah. But I'm like, this looks crazy. So
Well,
yeah,
I
anyways,
just
Whale
looked it up.
Fall.
Did you see who is the director for it?
Oh, who is it? Tell me.
Brian Dunfield, our guy who did No One
Oh,
Will Save You.
yep. You need to watch his other movie,
Spontaneous.
Underwater. No, Underwater. The one with Kristen Stewart, and it's like literally a deep sea movie. It's like
Oh,
Alien underwater. It's really, really good though.
he wrote that movie.
Sorry, he wrote it. Yeah, yeah. He
Yeah,
didn't
yeah, yeah.
direct it, but it's such a good movie.
Okay. Nice. Well, yeah, it's a lot of stuff coming up. And also, we have to shout out some independent movies that are going to be awesome. You mentioned last week, I think, Escape from New York. They're
Mhm.
remaking that. Um, I'm stoked for Paddington 4. Paddington 1 through 3. It's up there for greatest trilogies.
You saw 3 and you like
Oh,
it?
Paddington in Peru. I was skeptical because they changed directors, but it was solid. It was really good. I loved it.
All right.
It continues the streak of I have cried in every Paddington movie, and it made me want to be a better man. So the
Hey,
streak continues.
that's all
Paddington
we can
2 is
ask
still
for.
the best one, but Paddington in Peru was great. Also very interested in this Animal Farm movie that's
Mhm.
coming up. Andy Serkis is directing it.
Yeah, I heard about that as well. That looks interesting.
Very political story, but
Yeah,
yeah.
honestly, it's a little bit too good for the times that we're in. Like it's too real. It's going to be pretty horrifying, but especially when
Uh,
we're watching animals deal with that shit. But
all right.
anyway, so do you want to pick let's say which studio we're most excited for? Because this still let's like review. So we got
Yep.
Sony, we got Warner Brothers, Neon, Universal, Amazon. Ugh, we don't even have to include them.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Paramount Pictures and Walt Disney, and then other. But that's only like the 3 movies, so you can't pick other.
Yeah.
So
All right. So this is a real close call for me between Sony and Warner Brothers.
mm,
Um, and oh, this is hard. If I had, I really want to lean Sony because I'm excited for Jumanji. I'm excited for Helldivers, Bloodborne, Resident Evil. Not excited for K-pop, and I'm mildly interested in Spider-Man Brand New Day, but Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, I'm very excited for. But I think I gotta go Warner Brothers because
yeah.
Godzilla Minus Zero, Dune 3, just watched the teaser for Evil Dead Burn, and
Yeah,
that
which we
looks
talked about
dope
last
as
week.
hell.
Dude, yeah, I know. And that's not even like the full trailer. So that's just giving you a taste. And we liked it very
And
much
Final
so.
Destination 7. So
Exactly. I think you're right. I was gonna say those are my two that I was debating between. I also thought Universal, but I'm like, it's only really the three movies there that I care about, like Werewolf, The Odyssey, Disclosure Day. But I'm like,
yeah.
I can have at least four on the other ones because I'm actually excited about Social Reckoning and Jumanji and Resident Evil. I don't really care about Spider-Man, but that's why I'm going Warner Brothers because I've got Godzilla minus zero, Evil Dead Burn, Dune Part 3, Evil Dead
Wrath.
Wrath. Well, that's like, and then, but I was gonna say Final Destination 7 and Hunt for Gollum. Like, I'm like, that the list keeps on going with Warner Brothers. So I know that we're supposed to be like, oh, Universal because they got Christopher Nolan, but like, hey, I think Warner Brothers is doing just fine. They had
Yeah.
both of the movies that were like the top two picks for Best Picture this year. So, like, I think they're fine.
And the wild card for me is Game of Thrones Aegon's Conquest. That movie could be insane.
That could be
Like
amazing, right? It could be amazing, or it could be horrible, and maybe it would take them down. But like, it would have a lot to
like
take.
I
Like, it'd have to be really bad, but I
like
doubt it.
in my mind, I'm thinking like Aegon's Conquest. I'm like, this, if they give it the budget, like this could be like a Lord of the Rings Return of the King,
Yeah.
like level of battle with
Meanwhile, they're also
dragons
doing
and
the Hunt for
everything.
Gollum, so they're like banking in on two franchises. This would be nuts.
It'd be crazy.
And Dune. I mean, it's just like good for Warner Brothers, I have to say. Hopefully, they don't fucking sell to Netflix though, because this is what would make me most nervous. Or I guess not Netflix, but like I
Paramount.
guess Paramount even because they don't have that great of stuff. But I'm like, at least they don't like they're not taking over Warner Brothers or
Yeah.
anything like, or sorry, Netflix at least because I feel like, yeah,
Well, and at least Netflix, we can all sleep comfortably in that their main goal is making money.
yeah,
There's no political
that's what I'm saying,
affiliations that
and
that are
yeah,
also of interest
and
to them like Paramount has.
exactly, but Paramount at least like has like not a huge slate, so like I feel like they could really use this kind of a slate, and they would at least they did say they'll commit to things, but like I really hope because of this slate that if they stay independent as their own or like do something else because I know people are trying to fight it, and I agree because I don't think we'll have a slate like this next year if they get picked up by Paramount. If you look at their slate compared to this, you're like clearly they're not doing something right at Paramount.
Yeah. Well,
So we shouldn't like let's not stifle the creativity that clearly is coming out of Warner Brothers.
yeah, agreed. Well, let's take a little break and then get into our rapid fire worth the watch. All right. We're a couple months here into 2026 and we haven't done a worth the watch kind of movie news rapid fire episode, so it seems like good a time as ever, I feel like.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like there's been so many movies on streaming, like either released directly to streaming or hitting streaming right now in the past couple months, or even just stuff in theaters. And so we just wanted to basically, I feel like because there's so many options right now, just go through and give you guys a quick like thumbs up, thumbs down. Is this one going to be worth the price to either see it in theaters, to rent it on video on demand, Apple movies, wherever the fuck you watch them? Or is it worth like, maybe it's okay, but maybe you should just wait for it to hit a streaming service, that kind of thing. So we're just trying to help everybody out, basically. So we're gonna start with some stuff that's in theaters that hasn't hit streaming yet, because I think they both have been making money, and that's a good thing. So Project Hail Mary and Ready or Not 2.
Yeah.
Let's start with those. So I haven't seen Project Hail Mary, but you have. So tell us what your
I saw it.
recommendation is.
I loved it. It's worth the hype. It's got a ton of hype right now. But it is totally worth it. It's awesome and highly recommend it. It's a lot more. My initial thought was like, oh, this is going to be Jake Gyllenhaal's Gravity, where it's just Jake Gyllenhaal in space, like Sandra Bullock
Mhm.
Gravity.
Do you mean
Which
by Jake Gyllenhaal? Do you mean Ryan
yeah,
Gosling?
yeah, My head is all over the place. Ryan
That's
Gosling.
okay.
That
I was
is,
like, because Jake Gyllenhaal was in that Life movie, but it wasn't a very pleasant one. This seems
yeah.
like it might be a happier story.
Thank you for saving me.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
Ryan Gosling in space. It lives up to the hype.
And they
Highly
filmed it in space, right? That's what they said.
Yeah,
They said they filmed it all practically. So they
in
really put that
space.
guy up there.
Yeah, in
Damn,
space. No air. It's pretty wild. All yeah.
what a
Um,
guy.
I mean, it's a movie that like the more I've learned about it, the more interesting it's made the whole story. Like the writers and directors of the movies, they haven't done a movie in like 10 years.
Mm,
And they came back and did this huge budget movie that's awesome.
crazy.
Ryan Gosling, he got the rights to the adaptation before the book came out. So like
Mm,
this has been a passion project for Ryan Gosling.
cool.
And it's like it's really good. It's a feel good movie. It's not like a thriller or like a depressing sort of thing. Um yeah, it's just really great. Highly recommend it. And
Thumbs
yeah,
up.
big thumbs up. I think
Worth the theater
we'll
price.
worth the theater price, worth the popcorn, worth the drink,
Worth
unless
the
you're
whole parking, going in, being
yeah,
around humans, all that shit.
yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's
Highly
high
recommend
praise.
it. I'm going to be pushing that we do an episode on it when it does come out because there's a lot to talk about and it's really
I've heard
great.
that the guy who played The Rock is like possible. Like I just saw an article that was talking about could he win an Oscar, and I was like, if he wins an Oscar, it's only because Andy Serkis fucking started this, like paved the way for this to even be a thing. And how upsetting that Andy Serkis couldn't get the first one, but whatever. I guess they're just changing the rules now.
Yeah.
But
And then
let's talk.
you
Yeah,
and I were big fans of Ready or Not 2.
yeah.
Really good sequel.
Ready or Not, Here I Come, and like perfectly titled and a perfect sequel. Honestly, like more sequels should be. If any sequels are like we don't know what direction to go, fucking watch this movie because this was the way to go. 100%. They just really dialed into everything that we loved about the first one. But I think that they like it not only gave you more, it gave you a lot of stuff that you didn't expect and a lot of like I think I really just Catherine Newton and fucking Samara Weaving together is just perfection. So
Yeah. It
really hyped.
good time. And then just so everyone knows, we're not going to be talking about the movies that we've done episodes on. So
Yeah.
that would be Send Help, Primate, Bone Temple, and Cold Storage.
And good luck, have fun, don't die.
Oh yeah, good luck, have fun, don't die.
Obviously, I mean, not obviously, because sometimes we don't love movies, but I would say it's pretty rare. We're pretty like fair. I think we always find something to love. So, but either way, all of these thumbs up, right? From
Yeah,
worth the
big
price to
thumbs up.
rent from all of these. Yeah.
The only
Some
movie
of
that
them are
we've talked
streaming, but
the only movie we've talked about this year that I don't think we would give a full thumbs up, but since it's on a streaming thing, sure, give it a watch, would be the Jurassic Park movie.
yeah, but I would still say worth the watch
Yeah.
for me. I mean, I fucking bought it because I'm like, I can't not own one of these goddamn things. But yeah, I would say so that if it's safe to say any of those movies worth the rent and worth whatever you're signing up for to watch them. But I would say if you're curious about those movies, rent them and then listen to the full episodes because that's where we really dive in. We're not doing that now. We're skipping over it.
Yeah, and the one movie that we would not recommend that is out streaming is Scream 7.
Yes.
We did a whole spoiler-free opener in a previous episode.
Yeah.
We hate this movie. It's not good.
No.
And we are going to do a full episode when it comes to Paramount eventually.
For free.
Yeah, you don't have to rent it or pay for it or whatever because this movie is offensive in how bad it is to the franchise and to people who love the franchise.
So it's a episode TBD, but just for now, don't fucking waste your money. That's all we have to say. But all right, let's get into like our full worth the watch list. And I know Jace, you said you wanted to start off with some shows, right? Because I haven't been keeping up with TV at all.
Yeah.
So thank God that you have.
So
I wanted
to give a quick shout out to some shows because we've had really good shows this year, and it's kind of been distracting me from watching movies a little bit. So, I
Crazy.
mean, we're about to get the finale of Monarch season 2, which if you're big Godzilla fans, it's great. It, Godzilla, King Kong, it's really good. Scrubs had its revival season, which was really fun. Um, Invincible, if you like The Boys, it's like the animated version of The Boys, and it's great. And we're on like season 4 now, and it's getting crazy. The Pit, last year's hit show that won all the Emmys and stuff. Season 2 is
Yeah,
just as strong as season 1. Hopefully, we get a third season within a year's period of time.
crazy.
I feel like that's optimistic, but we'll see. And then Shrinking season 4, same guy who does Scrubs, who does Ted Lasso, hits all the feels. You laugh and cry within 30 seconds of each other, and it's
Damn.
amazing. So it's all been, and then there's been other really good shows like the Chair Company that came out like the
Oh
end
my
of
God.
last year, but I
Yes.
think the finale was in January or
We
something.
talked about it briefly, but my God, that show was just a masterclass of perfection, perfection of like how oddball that thing is. Like it's just so weird. I can't even describe it.
It's
But
just
the chair company is the perfect name.
yeah, it's Max Tim Robinson like, like it's
Exactly.
but yeah, so wanted to shout out the shows because overall this year, I feel like the start of the year has been okay in terms of like movie quality so
Mm,
far. We've had some really, really good movies, but then I've had quite a few like really bad movies. So I feel like overall the sentiment is like we're
but
pretty,
that's good, right? That we're taking chances. That means that
yes.
nothing is like there's very few safe films, and the ones that are safe are very underwhelming, is what
Well,
I would say.
and like my favorite movies of the year so far are original stories. They're not sequels.
Yeah,
Like the sequels have been good, like Ready or Not 2, Bone Temple have been good. But yeah, like my
that was
favorite
great.
movies have been original movies. So yeah,
Yeah, me too.
the not so good ones, a little bit of original stuff, but not that original. But what I'm feeling good about the rest of the year. You
Yeah,
know, the shows have been really good, so they've been kind of filling the gaps for
true.
me personally.
Well, I feel like I've really just gone into all the horror of the year. That's really what I've seen with few exceptions, but
Shocking.
I mean, right, that doesn't really surprise anybody, but I have a couple that aren't horror and but I would say I've really done the deep dive on horror for everybody else. So, cuz you never know what you're getting. Like horror really is up
Yeah,
in the air these days, especially when a lot of these are like really small movies that are just hitting streaming. So,
yeah.
let's talk about some of the ones that we both have seen because those ones there's other ones on the list that we both have seen individually we can talk about
Mhm.
after. But let's talk about first. I think we should start with should we start with Psycho Killer?
Let's just get it out of the
Let's just
way.
get it out of the way. Yeah, okay. So this one is very odd. Like
It's 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 bad.
it's very
This was the movie that had a lot of hype because it was the same writer as Seven, and
Yes, Andrew Kevin Walker, which okay, 7, but like that guy also, I think I've talked about how he's had some interesting films. So like he's not always, delivering on that level, let's just say.
yeah,
So I feel like it's not totally I mean, he's also done yeah, The Killer, okay, that was not bad. That was in 2023. That was David
yeah.
Fincher,
It
and
was
that was
Netflix.
good.
Yeah.
But that was good, and then he did 8 before that, like 8 millimeter with, which is trying
Oh,
to be 7 so much, and it's about, like, a snuff film, and it's got Nick Cage,
yeah,
and it is a very weird film. It's kind of similar to this, but he also wrote Panic Room. So it's like,
yeah,
he has some good stuff, but he has some weird stuff too. So, I feel like this guy's kind of like at least he swings for the like, he takes a swing, right? Not necessarily the best, but that's why I was really underwhelmed. I feel like because in the past, like at least he's trying different things and like at least going at an angle. But this one felt very much like by the book, very generic, like Satanist killer.
hmm,
And if it was trying to be at all from the killer's point of view, it really failed. It
yeah,
was nothing like In a Violent Nature, which that killer doesn't even talk, but I felt like I was literally there killing those people too. Or like
yeah,
walking through the woods for that long to get to the house to to pull off the scare. Like I really enjoyed that movie, and that really did kind of literally put you with the killer the whole time. But this one, like you're also following Georgina Campbell from she's in Barbarian. She's
Mm.
like the cop who her husband's killed at the beginning, so she's tracking down the killer. It just felt very
The
cliche, but like
the
she
be
was great.
the beginning is the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Like when he kills the cop, like it's all good. It's everything after that. It's like what's happening. Also, uh so Panic Group was written by David Kip, guy who did
Mm.
Jurassic
Oh,
Park.
okay.
Um so really my big takeaway from
Oh no, that's why I fucked up. Sorry, I meant Sleepy Hollow is the one
okay,
that he wrote, and that's why I was like, okay, so when he has a
because you love
seven
that
or a
movie.
Sleepy Hollow, I'm like, but not all of his movies are on that level. He also wrote The Wolfman 2010. I don't necessarily blame him, but I do feel like some of these I feel like are not the best, but I think he at least is like pretty much I feel like it just he has those two to me, Sleepy Hollow and Seven. I don't think he's ever fully come near like the level of quality of those two. It's been
So
a while for me.
based off this movie, Seven, and Sleepy Hollow, this to me is telling me how important a good director is.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I think
Because
you're 100% right on that.
the guy who did Psycho Killer, like I looked him up, and he has not done anything that I've seen before. Or
He is probably new, right?
Gavin Polone. Um, he's directed some stuff. Like he's directed some like TV series episodes, but like the TV series that I'm seeing don't even look like they're related to horror. So I don't know. But yeah, like this movie was it was just bad. It was generic. It was just like, oh, the bad guy's a Satanist, and that's really all we learn about him. And like we spend a lot of time with the bad guy, but
hmm
like we don't learn anything about him, and he's just wearing a mask and talking and yeah, it's just
Anytime, honestly, the one time that I thought things might get interesting with the killer was when he went to the Satanist place, and then it
yeah.
was like still didn't get interesting. It was still like, oh, we're just glossing over all
It was
this,
like,
and I'm
oh,
just gonna kill
Malcolm
everyone.
McDowell.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow, he's doing this for what? Why? Why is he in this? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's the writer, but yeah, this guy, I don't even know if it won't show me what he's even doing.
The
Or is he a
director.
director? Yeah. Has he what has he
Yeah,
done? Okay.
he's
Yeah, that's
directed
it.
TV shows.
Exactly. Very
Finding
much.
Carter. Like he hasn't directed
You
anything.
could tell he didn't come from music videos, basically, because
Yeah,
I think that's like visual storytelling of like what is lacking in a script
yeah,
and bringing that to the screen,
yeah,
which is what David Fincher is like the best at, right?
yeah,
And Tim Burton, incredible. Like,
yeah.
I think
Visionaries.
exactly. You need someone like that in order to make that work. So I agree. Let's just skip over it for now. That's all we have to say. But Psycho Killer, thumbs down. If I could give it 3 thumbs down, I would, but I'm just gonna give it one. So don't rent it. If it comes out somewhere or go to the seven Seas and find it that way,
Yeah,
um, go for it. But not worth the rent. But let's talk about one that is worth the rent.
okay.
The Housemaid,
Hell
which
yes.
has been like the top movie on demand for like I feel like at least on Amazon Prime Video, it's like the number one purchase movie has been The Housemaid with Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried, and for good reason. If you haven't seen this yet, 1,000% thumbs up. I before I even tell you anything about it, just thumbs up, worth the rent. Turn this off, go watch it.
Th-
It's so good.
it's so good. This was a movie that I had no interest watching just
Yeah,
because
same.
mainly because Sydney Sweeney was in it. But then the I watched some reviews of it and people talking about it, and every single one of them is like, I went into this not expecting anything, and I had a blast. They're like, I was so
Yeah.
surprised by it, and it was so fun. And then after like a couple of those, I'm like, all right, I trust these people. I'm gonna try it. And I watched it and could not have been happier with the decision to watch it.
Oh yeah. Plus it's the same director who did Bridesmaids,
Yeah.
which is crazy. He also did the female Ghostbusters, which I still defend.
Yeah.
He also did A Simple Favor, which is probably and Another Simple Favor. So I would say those are two of the probably closest. Those two movies have
Yeah.
definitely more the first one, but this is even better.
Yeah.
I think. I personally thought Housemaid was even better than A Simple Favor, and I really love A Simple Favor.
I really liked the first one. The second one was okay.
The second one was ridiculous, but I didn't care because I was like, I love the fashion. I'm
Yeah.
here for the like everything. But like I was like, that's crazy that this is already like one of the Sex and the City movies, kind of a thing. It had the same vibe, you know, like we don't need this. But A Simple Favor has very similar vibes to this, and this has a great twist. They're doing a sequel, and Kirsten Dunst will be in it with Sydney Sweeney. And I just personally think this is perfect. This is a perfect role for Sydney Sweeney, and I really loved her in this movie.
Yeah, and Amanda
Seyfried steals it. Yeah,
incredible. She steals the show, and I had no clue before watching this. I had no clue that this was a book that was adapted, and that there's 3 of them. So like, we could get a trilogy of this, which I'm all here for.
Please, this was so fun, and it's really great mystery, and it's just Amanda Seyfried alone is worth the price of whatever you're paying for it. So highly recommend watching that one. We won't spoil anything about it, but just that like there's a reason it's probably been the top purchase movie for a while, because it's like it's that good. The word of mouth's good too. So
yeah, and I love the idea of us getting like 3 movies where Sydney Sweeney plays kind of like a boring character who's opposite of this super charismatic actress. Like, I like that dynamic because like Amanda Seyfried is just over the top, just wild in this movie. So I'm really curious to see how Kirsten Dunst, how they do her character, because they can't do the same thing.
No, it's got to be different. But I mean, they have 3 books, so who knows?
But it's like if you get 3 like really good actresses that can kind of play different variations of, you know, women who are in toxic relationships and abusive relationships, could be really fun.
Oh, it's gonna be great. Honestly, very hyped on that one. Definitely worth the watch. I feel like Sydney Sweeney gets to be that extra on Euphoria, which I guess that's the only TV show I've been watching now that's back.
Because that just started, right?
Yeah, it's on episode 2 of season 3, and a lot of people were like not in love with the first episode, but I thought it was great. And the only thing I miss is Labyrinth, who's the guy who did all the music, because it was all original music for the show. So it's a little different, but they also like it's filmed different. It feels like it's a kind of like a Western almost now. It's kind of the vibe of the show. It's very different, but a lot of people loved episode 2, and we're all back on board. And Sydney Sweeney's character is doing OnlyFans, and the first episode is like her dressed in all these like slutty dog outfits, and it's like to the beat of or to the song that's like, "How much is that doggy in the window?" And it's like her housemaid is like filming her. It's really that sounds bad, but no, it actually is really great. And also Zendaya is a revelation as always. So I don't know if you're caught up on that, but you should watch it. And Sydney Sweeney gets to do so much in that show that she's just like, I don't know how she hasn't captured that magic elsewhere, but like she's just something extra on that show that's so good. Like especially a season 2. Like I want her to be able to access that kind of a performance. Like she's so good in Euphoria that I'm like, it's so weird how it doesn't like correlate to all of her other stuff. But I'm curious if she'll get the role eventually that like helps it come back, because I feel like it's just she's so good at what she does on that show as Cassie.
I think it's because she's not famous because of that show. She's famous because young men think she's the hottest thing on the planet. And it's like hot. If they actually did watch that show, they would see like, oh, she's a good actress. She can do things. Whereas everything she's casted for has nothing to do with her acting ability, which is unfortunate for her.
Yeah. Boo-hoo. Anyways, let's talk about Undertone, because this is one that I just watched this yesterday for the first time. So it's a fresh watch for me.
Same here.
A24, which we love. And it's like a first film from a guy from Canada.
Yeah.
And it's like these 2 people do a podcast. So it feels like, oh boy, this is pretty close to home. and it's like a haunted they get haunted from their podcast that they're listening to, where they
Yeah.
listen to like tapes of people who are supposedly
Kind of like a
sleep
true
talking.
crime
Yeah,
horror podcast sort of vibe. And like one of them is a skeptic of
yeah,
the supernatural, and the other one's a
totally a
little more
believer.
like scared of it.
This is like how I would be. I'd be like, this is fact. The ghosts are real. Um, and I need someone to keep me down to earth. But I feel like this one, I agree with people that say the sound design was really good,
Mhm.
and like I like the concept, I think, but also I feel like it's too similar to a lot of other stuff that I've seen and a lot of other things that have come before it, and it didn't really do anything new or different to me. And also, I was at risk of falling asleep.
Yeah.
I watched this at like 8 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock, and I was like, am I gonna go to bed at like 10 o'clock, 10:30 tonight? Like, Jesus. Like, I was like literally my eyes were heavy and I was like, is something gonna happen in this fucking movie? Like, I'm ready for it. Like the sounds are cool, but I'm like, come on, It felt like I've seen it before and from better like storytellers.
Yeah, it's like it was all tension with no
Release.
like, yeah, no release. Like there's so much like tension built up through the sound and stuff. But yeah, it's like it is a pretty boring movie. But like of all of our like we don't recommend movies. This movie I think is the closest to me recommending
I would say
because
I'd still say like, yeah, if you're on the fence, go for it because I think you could swing either way. Like I bet there's people who love this and this
like
might be totally the right vibe for them. But for
like
people
this
like us, this is a little bit like lacking, don't you think?
yeah, like the cinematography is great. The like there's some really good shots of
He
like
just does the circle thing. He's doing the same thing the guy did in Primate. And I thought that was way better because I thought a monkey's going to jump up in this shot at some point, right? Like, fuck, I was nervous. That stressed me out. Here, I was like, I understand that the sounds I'm listening to are scary, but they're happening to someone else in another apartment somewhere that we don't know.
yeah.
So I'm not like scared. And it reminded me of some of the found footage movies that like have come before, a lot of them, but like in those you actually get to see what's happening. Like Paranormal Activity is what it reminded me of, but
Yeah.
it's like if you just had the audio tapes of Paranormal Activity and were like the whole story was about a podcast who was
Yeah.
listening to them. It's like that's the least interesting way to go about that story. To
Yeah.
me, I think it's more interesting to focus in on the people who are like dealing with it. But I know it's more of like the viral, like kind of curse and passing on the curse kind of thing with the podcast. But like, I just don't think it ultimately delivered. But I think for other people, it could. Like, I'd be curious. I think if anyone else really liked it, I'd love to hear why.
Yeah, like there's some stuff that I liked in it, but
It's a
just yeah, the
decent
whole the
first
whole the
feature.
whole thing just didn't totally work for me. And part of that also could just be that we are podcasters. And so when I see people do a podcast in 20-minute segments, I'm like, how do you chit chat, do the intro and the main thing and the outro all within that period of time? I'm just like, there's no way.
I was like, these, and then they're like, let's get into character. And I'm like, Jason are always in character. It's just stupid.
Well,
And then
that
I
was
was also like, but they did say intro, outro. And I was like, oh, that's what I say too. But I'm like, the way that they were like talking about stuff, I was just like, get out of here, guys. You didn't even say the name of your podcast anywhere in here, at least that I could hear. Maybe you did at the end with some fucking catchy little phrase that I
no,
didn't
their
quite hear.
podcast is the Undertone Podcast.
That's what I figured, but I'm like they didn't
I
really
heard it.
say that in their like outro at the end when he's like saying like doing the ending of the episode. They like don't say anything about they like have some tagline, but they don't say like how you sign
Amateurs.
off our podcast.
Amateurs.
Yeah, I'm just like, they clearly haven't been doing it as long as us. And like who's listening to this show? Maybe to fall asleep. I was like, this might be a skinamarink for me. It was
Yeah.
what I thought at first, which I was like, man, this shit is cozy as fuck. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
go to bed. But like other people think it's terrifying. So I don't know. But I'd say not worth the rental price. I bet you it'll be on HBO Max sometime soon.
Oh yeah, because it's
But if you're
A24.
yeah, but if you're like you're curious, this seems like a movie you might be into, I would say check it out. It's one of the ones that we're on the fence about. So
Yeah. I just can't imagine us recording and just jumping straight into the recording. Like we spend like 30 minutes to an hour just talking before you even start recording, just
Yeah,
shooting the shit. So
literally.
it's
And I
like
was like,
these
also,
people.
they're just so like, they got to keep it professional. And I was like, their whole podcast is just them listening to other things. So they're not even like talking that much. And when they do, they were Googling things and having answers way too quick. I was like, dude, I've Googled shit on the fly and it's hard because I'm talking and I'm like, I don't know how to type while I'm talking. And also, I don't know which results are like he's just saying an article, but it's like, how do you know that that's it? He's probably just reading the AI overview.
Yeah.
And I don't trust that information. You know what I mean? It's just like, I was like, this thing isn't realistic, but what am I, stupid? Anyways, let's move on. So Whistle was the last one that we both have seen. And that's like a kind of a curse horror movie too,
I was
but with
gonna
a whistle.
I was gonna put like this Whistle and Undertone to me are like in
The
the
same.
same place,
Yeah.
but like for different reasons. Whistle has amazing kills, like
Yes.
fantastic kills.
Yeah.
And there's a couple good performances, but then there's several really bad performances. Like our girl from Yellow Jackets, she's really good.
Yeah. Sophie and Elise.
But like the lead, it was
Daphne Keene.
Daphne
Or whatever.
Keene. She was awful. I thought she was so bad. I'm like, I liked you in Logan. Like you were good
Mhm.
as a mutant, but as a kid actor. So like I had high hopes for you.
Yeah.
This, I'm like, what is this? Are you like, are you trying to just be a wet blanket of a human being?
I
Like,
know. I was like, why is anyone even trying to hang out with this person? I don't believe that people would still be friends with her after meeting her.
well, and I mean, really,
Or let alone have a crush on her. And then also the villain guy from the guy from season 1 of Wednesday. I was like, is this what he's doing now that he left Wednesday? I don't like it. Poor guy. That was not good.
I mean, the biggest thing that I took away from this movie is it made me love what's her last name? Sophie
Nalise?
Melise. It made me love her more because I'm
Yeah.
like, if you can have chemistry with Daphne Keene in this movie,
Yeah.
you are an incredible actor.
Yeah.
Like,
She's incredible. She's already proved it on Yellow Jackets, but this just further proves that she can do no wrong. So I agree with that.
but
Yeah.
what were your thoughts on this?
I agree with you that good kills. The story is like, but like I guess it's kind of okay. It feels like a curse movie where you actually do something and then now your death is coming for you unless you pass it on the curse to somebody else, kind of a thing. It feels like in the vein of like The Ring and whatever, but like a lot of those movies, it's just you're never gonna match up with The Ring. Like that's such a hard movie to go into that category. But I still enjoyed it for what it was. But I don't think it's like it's definitely not. I feel like it's almost worth the like. I rented it and I'm not mad because I was curious and that's how I found out about it. So
There's
I'm not
entertainment
mad.
in
There's
it.
entertainment to be, and I thought that the kills were a lot better than like in anything, like especially in Psycho Killer. I thought that at least we'd be getting good gore in that, but I'm like, this is lame. So I feel like Whistle and Undertone are definitely out of all these ones, like the two horror films or the two movies that we've both seen that would be like agreed. They can go either way, but I do think Whistle has a little bit of an edge for me over Undertone.
Okay. See, I think I
As
would.
much as it has worse performances sometimes, and like sometimes it's just kind of lame. I don't care. I don't care. I still think the creative kills take it up that notch for me. And Undertone, I was like, something's gonna happen, right? Eventually. Jesus. But yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
those two movies are the movies that if they're streaming somewhere that you have them, yeah, give them a watch.
Yeah, but like if you are curious, go ahead and rent. But if not, really the Housemaid is the one that out of all the ones we've seen that's like definite yes, no matter what, even if you think you're not gonna be into it, you'll probably like it. So then let's get into some of our picks that we both have seen individually. Did you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah. I will. All right. I'll give a thumbs down. One I don't recommend, but I was a little surprised. Greenland 2. I never watched Greenland with Gerard Butler.
That's the first one. And what is that movie?
Is
it a disaster movie?
It's a disaster movie. There's a giant comet that's coming to hit Earth and
I
it's
need
going
to
to
see
destroy
this.
Greenland.
It's just Greenland. I don't think you need to say it like Greenland. It's
Okay,
one word, right?
You're right.
It's like the country. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like, I'm like, is this like actually like is it a sci-fi like another place? Okay, so
No, so
Greenland. Is it
Greenland.
literally like that's where it takes place? Is like the country of
So the reason
Greenland?
why it's called Greenland is because in the first one there's a comet coming and people get uh invites to stay in a shelter to survive the end of the world, and it's in a
Mm,
bunker in Greenland. So that's why
I
it's
gotcha.
called Greenland.
Makes sense.
So I didn't watch the first one because it was came out in 2020, so there was a lot of stuff going on back then. Um
But
but
you watched it before you watched the sequel?
yeah, so I watched
Okay.
the first one so I could watch the sequel. And the first one slaps. I really enjoyed it. There's a couple dumb things in it, but I
Hey,
enjoyed it.
I will totally forgive dumb things in a disaster movie. I love 2012 with John Cusack.
Yeah.
And like that movie has all kinds of ridiculous shit
Yeah.
in it. But it also is fucking great. And I don't care. I love it. I unabashedly love it. And so I have a feeling this needs to be something. But okay. So
The
you're
first
saying thumbs down though on the sequel.
the first one I recommend because it's actually more focused on the people than the disaster, which I thought was a unique
Oh, then
kind of
maybe I will like the second one.
yeah.
I love disaster movies for the disasters.
No, you won't like the second one because the second one. So Gerard Butler might be my actor that I think I trust more than any other actor. That not
Yeah.
that it's going to be a great movie, but I'm going to enjoy the movie. Like
I remember your love affair with him starting like with 300 and going
300,
like
then P.S. I Love You,
P.S. I love you, and
Gamer,
then a gamer, and then I was gonna say law-abiding
Law Abiding
citizen.
Citizen.
That one I remember you came out, you were just like, I was like, I thought you were gonna get his name tattooed on your fucking ass. But like, and then
I
even the one with Katherine Heigl,
oh
that one
yeah.
was great.
What was that one called? But yeah, that was a good rom com. I enjoyed that one. Ugly Truth. That was
Yes,
yeah.
that's what it is, because that was his show on it. He did like the talk show, the
Yeah.
Ugly Truth. He was like a Joe Rogan guy, which we should really. I bet that doesn't hold up, but I don't care.
I mean, that was before Katherine Heigl was unceremoniously shunned from Hollywood.
Yeah, well, she deserves it. Anyways, Greenland 2,
So
thumbs
Greenland
down,
2,
right? You said?
thumbs down. And the big reason is it takes place 5 years after the first one. And I was wondering, I was like, how is there a sequel to this movie? Because like the world ends.
Spoiler alert. Oh, the
And
comet ends the world? Or okay, never mind. We'll talk about it
yeah, so I mean the
later.
world ends, but they do get into a safe place. But I swear to God, if this movie starts with them like recreating society and then another world-ending event happens, I'm gonna be like, this is stupid. Why are we here? But
Is
that's
that
not
what
what
happened?
happens,
Oh,
surprisingly. No.
I was about to say, wait a minute. Tell me everything. But okay, wait. Okay, so what's the
So
deal?
the sequel is they come out, and the reason why it's not very good is because it's not a disaster movie, it's a road trip movie.
Oh,
So it's like
scratching it off the
the
list.
whole movie is they're like the world is destroyed. There's maybe one place that is living. If we get there, then everything will
Walking
be great.
Dead, get
So
out of here.
it's essentially like the Land Before Time,
Yeah.
but like but
Any of
not as
these number
good.
of like fucked up movies where you have to get to somewhere. Great.
But
Okay. So
um
lame.
but the Gerard Butler's great. God, what's the woman? She's someone that I love and she's in Deadpool and Monica Barkaran. She's
Yeah.
great. So there's good acting in it. It's just the story is not very good. So I'd say overall, watch the first one, skip the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that was
Greenland
about.
is all that you have.
No, I have others.
Okay.
Did we want to trade, or do you just want me to go through my list?
I guess yeah, we could trade. Let's trade off. Okay.
Okay.
So
Because a lot of mine are not recommends. I
okay.
have like one on here that's a recommend.
All right. Then I'll go with mine. Let's start with The Bride! Exclamation point.
I've been getting ready to watch this.
Okay, cool. So this is directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, which is
Yeah.
awesome. She directed her first movie like a year or two ago, and it like got a bunch of accolades and was like, I think it was called The Lost Daughter. It was like an independent film. And this one's so much bigger. Like Warner Brothers gave her a shit that, or they gave them like a ton of budget basically to like go
Yeah.
crazy with this. And anyways, it stars fucking Oscar winner Jessie Buckley as the bride, and it also has Christian Bale as Frankenstein, but they're like placed in like the 1930s.
Yeah.
And it's like a Bonnie and Clyde story, but it's really about the bride. And I think what Maggie Gyllenhaal said was that she wanted to make a story about the bride because the original movie, The Bride of Frankenstein, was the sequel to Frankenstein. And there's like that's what the creature in the book asks for a mate, but he ends up not doing it. And so in this sequel, they were like, let's do it for real. So they created, and like the bride of Frankenstein is such an iconic character, like with the look, but she's only in the movie for like 2 minutes and she doesn't even say anything. She just screams when she sees him. So she like hates him. And so she was like, well, I want to do her story. And I think that like that's really cool. The other thing about this movie though that I think people struggle with is that it also starts and ends and kind of like has throughout is like Jessie Buckley also plays Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein, the novel.
Oh.
And she also is like kind of the narrator. And she's like, this is the real story that I wanted to write, but I couldn't. And then she like possesses the character who becomes the bride. And so like sometimes she talks like in an American accent, like her character, Jessie Buckley. And then other times she talks in like this like kind of haughty British accent and says like crazy things. But I actually think it works really well. And also like, I mean, she looks like an undead person. So I don't feel like it's too much of a stretch for her to be weird. But I thought that the performance was great. And I think the message of the movie is great. I don't know. I think I agree with what you had said. You'd heard that like, it sometimes doesn't fully land it where it wants to, but like I like a lot of the stuff going on. And it's a really visually, I think, beautiful movie. Like the costumes, also just the look, the updated look of the bride is very, very unique. And I think, I mean, I want to do it for Halloween already. So
Yeah, when
yeah.
I saw the trailer, it reminded me of like Babylon and
Yeah.
like very stylistic. Like I'm expecting musical numbers and
Yeah.
stuff
There's
like
musical
that.
numbers. There's like that's one difference between Christian Bale and Jacob Elordi's Creature is that Christian Bale had like wears like, he wears like a tux and does like dance sequences with her. And it's very different, but they also have sex and they are in love and it's beautiful. And also Jake Gyllenhaal is in it for like a little bit, obviously, because he's just a smaller part, but he's great.
Yeah, I
It's just a
remember
good cast, and Penelope Cruz is incredible. She's in
I
it.
remember seeing Jake Gyllenhaal in the trailer, but he wasn't listed like
Yeah,
in the trailer, like
he's like
cast starring. And I'm like, oh, this is a sibling thing. Like,
yeah, he plays like a movie star who Frankenstein's creature, which they call him Frank in it. He is like he's obsessed with Jake Gyllenhaal, and like he's like the like always imagining himself and like he goes to his movies all the time, and he's like, and then he eventually gets to meet him, and so it's like that's kind of the whole connection. But either way, The Bride, double thumbs up, I would say. For me, I personally think it's like a huge artistic swing, and I'd rather see that than something boring.
yeah,
So if you don't love it, at least like I mean, people pretty much had strong reactions either way, I think. So I think
yeah,
that means that it's like an artistic decision and like an artistic swing in some direction. Might not be for you, but I think hopefully people can all respect that.
yeah. Well, speaking of artistic swings, the movie I watched that I'll just say it's a big thumbs down. Mercy from January this year. This is the Chris Pratt
Oh
like
God,
kind of
let's barely waste time on this.
minority report kind of rip
AI
off.
thing.
Yeah, and like the whole thing is, the AI is judge, jury, and executioner, like Judge Dredd, but it's like you have 90 minutes to plead your
Prove your
case,
innocence. Yeah.
and the AI is able to access everyone's records, like bank records, text messages, like for this 90 minutes. I also love when a movie's like, we have 90 minutes to figure this out. It's like, okay, so we have a hard stop. Like the movie is timing itself.
Good. At least it's
And
not going to go over. It's not like we have 3 hours. You're like, fuck.
yeah. It's
If
just
that would have been the case.
so it's just like the movie is reminding you, hey, we're halfway through. Like, just hold on a little bit longer. Hey, we got only 30 minutes left. We're about to crank things up. Like, the movie's reminding you,
Jesus.
we're almost there. Just hold on. Like, it's real bad.
You're
It,
almost through. It's
and it
just fine.
and it's the same director who did last year's War of the Worlds. Like,
Oh my God, that one.
yeah,
The one with Ice
with
Cube.
Ice Cube. Like,
Oh boy.
it's terrible. And like Rebecca Ferguson's in this, and I love her. And I was real curious, like why would she pick a project like this? And I think I understand why. I'm pretty sure she filmed all of her scenes just sitting in front of her laptop because she's the manifestation of the AI. She's the avatar. So you never
She
actually
did,
see
yeah.
her in a scene with anyone.
I love
It's just
that so
she's
much.
just on a TV. Like,
That's so good though. 'Cause I
and
feel like good for
everything
her.
she's doing is
She
just
gets a paycheck.
exposition. Like,
Yeah. I love this. That's incredible, honestly. Good for her. And fuck Chris Pratt for endorsing AI.
also, Chris Pratt, can you like just go back to being like a funny, kind of relatable human being and stop trying to be Tom Cruise?
I
Like, he's
know. We
trying to
hate
be
it.
this like really serious actor,
Get out of here.
and it's just like you're you're not you're not very fun in any of these roles. Like,
No, not at all. No. Okay. Well, I'm just off of that because you said it was the director of War of the Worlds and it's a streaming movie. I'm gonna piggyback off that with one that I do not necessarily recommend, but maybe I'll just throw a thumbs up because it's got sharks and it's on Netflix. So Thrash is the new shark horror film on Netflix, and it is just as bad as it looks. But it is kind of entertaining, and I would say, like, if you've got the time to kill, it's not bad. Like, you could do worse shark movie wise, but I feel like they don't really lean into any of the good shark stuff. It's like all very similar, also really dumb people. And there's also this woman who's pregnant. She gets like a tree through her car, and then she's like strapped in, and like the flood is coming, and there's sharks outside the car. People are getting eaten right outside. She basically, when you see a pregnant woman, you're like, the floods are coming. I'm like, so she's gonna give birth in the water with sharks, and you won't be disappointed. Let me tell you, it's pretty ridiculous, but there's some good lines, some Dimon Hansu, and just like some really bad actors. But overall, I mean, it's crazy to me. It's the same director who did Violent Night, which is like the great,
that's a great
action,
movie.
the Santa action movies with David Harbour. I just was like, this is a very Netflix film, but you could do worse still. So I would give that one. I'll just put it in the middle. You could do worse, you could do better, but like it's on Netflix. So go ahead.
I wonder with those Netflix movies, I wonder if there's somebody who watches it, like screens the movie before they put it out. They screen, an edit of it while they're on their phone the
I
whole
think they
time.
do, yeah.
And they just tell the director, yeah, I got lost at this point.
Remind me about this.
So can you dumb it down, or can you give me some exposition at this point? Like,
just state that like 3 times and we're good.
Yeah.
In that vein, there's like 2 other like kind of creature features, I guess, that I'll include in this recommendation. Because I would probably say 2 of the 3 of them I feel the same. Killer Whale is another one.
Okay.
I would give it a thumbs down because I don't think it's worth the rental price. I'm positive it will be on Hulu or some shit at some point. The reason I watched that one was because it's close enough to a shark movie.
Yeah.
That like I was like, I'll still be interested. But
the one animal that hunts sharks.
Yes. And the thing is so like these people go and they see this fucking killer whale but either way, this killer whale escapes this like enclosure thing. And then it like these people are out in the middle of the ocean. This guy takes them to this place that's like kind of got like a little mini reef and like rock formation in the ocean. And the orca for some reason got in there and it thinks that it's in captivity again. So it's attacking like crazy to kill people. And it's like, what the fuck? It's so ridiculous. But it's got some okay stuff, but overall it's like got such of like it's like totally like a like Fall or whatever, that one with the 2 girls, and then like kind of I guess like 47 meters down, like just all this kind of like just basic ass shit. And I don't find killer whales that scary. They're pretty cute. So I don't really think it's that great overall. The opening sequence, maybe you should watch just because if you want to see a character who's like, hey, I want to die, just watch the opening of that movie. This girl, the main character, is suffering trauma because her boyfriend gets killed in like a stand up at her donut shop or wherever the fuck she works at. And he like had given her a ring, like a promise ring, not even an engagement ring. And he was being like really weird. And then this guy shows up to hold up the place just to rob them. And he just asked for the wallet and the ring. And then the guy literally is like trying to wrestle the gun and like just be the hero. He even chases the guy out of the store and then eventually gets run over by the guy. And I was like, thank you. I was like rooting for this killer to fucking kill him. I was like, pop a cap in his ass, dude. You don't need anybody. I don't think anyone in real life would be that much of an idiot. Like it was really shocking. So the whole movie when she's all sad about it, I was like, get over it, bitch. That guy clearly had a death wish. But that's the only interesting part of Killer Whale is that opening. It's just so bad. The other one is the Yeti, which is probably one that most people would not hear about. But if you are like me and you like movies about Yetis and Sasquatch and like I like urban legends and myths and cryptids and shit like that. This movie is actually really fun, and I would give it a thumbs up. Worth the rent because it's like a really small indie movie. But it's fun. It's got great creature, like that they've built a practical fucking Yeti.
Nice.
And it's like takes place in like the 50s, and it's almost like this expedition, whatever, up in Alaska goes missing. It's always up in Alaska.
Always in Alaska.
And so they said they like they basically get the toughest people from like all over. They make like this Avengers team to go and save them.
Classic.
And then just like not great actors across the board. Some of them are really good though, and there's other ones that are just awful, but good stuff, I would say overall. It's a fun one and like great gore and it's a total like the story doesn't totally deliver. It's not the best, but out of all the Sasquatch and Yeti movies, I'll tell you, it's pretty good compared to the rest of those. So I would highly recommend. Those are just 3 creature features, but
Nice.
that one is the best. Thrash and Killer Whale. Ugh. Step it up, bitch.
Well,
What about you?
The last couple that I got, so I saw Hoppers with my friends and their kids.
Mhm.
The
And that's
animated
the
movie.
animated one about what?
It's
Is it
about
about bunnies?
it's like Avatar, but with kids. It's like this
Oh,
girl.
this
It's like
sounds awful.
well, no, it's way better than Avatar from a story standpoint. But it's like this kid is like trying to save this local habitat, and it requires a beaver to help create a dam and draw in all the other animals. And so she finds out that there's like this machine that you can put your brain inside of a robotic beaver, and she goes in it and she goes to the habitat and she like leads the revitalization of this habitat while this construction company wants to build a freeway through it.
Hmm.
And so it's cute. So but I always hate like I hate judging kids movies or like movies that I'm clearly not the audience for. So I'll say from an adult standpoint, because I love animated movies, I would say this is not a good adult animated movie.
Mm.
Kids love it. Kids have really enjoyed it. There's one part that is hilarious. I laughed my ass off with these kids. But overall, like it's fine. It's not a Shrek 2 or a Wild Robot, but it's a good time. But I'd
Okay.
say if you don't have kids, I don't recommend it to watch at
Yeah.
home by yourself.
All right. What else you got?
Then I watched a documentary that's on Hulu, and I'm really only shouting this out because it took place here in Seattle. Do you remember a couple of years ago when that guy stole a plane and just was flying around? Did you ever hear
Oh
about this
yeah.
story?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's a documentary on this guy, and it's
Interesting.
like the audio recording of him talking to flight control and to the FAA, and like it's about essentially like he was a
Sounds kind of boring.
no, it's very
Okay.
good, very interesting. And like he essentially was like really depressed, and
Oh,
so he took this plane essentially, it kind of seemed like to feel alive before he ended his life.
wow.
And so like a lot of it's very relevant with like all of the stuff going on with like people lighting warehouses on fire because they're not
Yeah.
paid enough. It's very similar to like that sort of sentiment.
Hmm. Cool. I like
Whereas like
that.
this guy wasn't paid very much. He tried to do all the right things to move up and make more money, and he just kept getting shut down. And so I mean, it's not like an uplifting story, but it was very interesting. And there's not a lot of documentaries that happen here in the Seattle area. So
That's cool.
recommend that though. A movie, and one last movie I'd recommend is if you're looking for something to cry over, Eleanor the Great with June Squibb, Scarlett Johansson's first directing movie. It's really great. If you liked Thelma, you'll like this. The story of this is like she is she's an older woman and she lives with like her best friend, and her best friend was a Holocaust survivor, and her friend passes, and she her daughter's like, hey, you need to get hobbies, like get out of the house. And so she goes to this like community center, and she kind of accidentally gets pulled into a Holocaust survivor group, and she starts telling all the stories that her friend told her. And so it sounds kind of fucked up at first, but then it
Interesting.
becomes this kind of beautiful story of somebody who is telling the stories of their friend to keep her friend's memory alive.
That's cool.
And it's also really interesting because June Squibb in real life, like in the 50s, she converted to Judaism when she
Oh,
got married. And
interesting.
so
So
yeah,
it's okay.
yeah, I guess for the
So
sake of the story.
technically, she's technically married into it. She's all right.
But like
We'll let it slide.
it's a really good movie in the sense of like she she does this thing for her, but then it starts to get attention, and then like you kind of see the snowball building of
Yeah,
like, oh god, this is gonna come out. And
that's
I thought it was
interesting.
really, really interesting, really bold move for Scarlett Johansson to like tell a story like this, and I thought it was done really well. And I love June Squibb, and now I'm really interested to see what Scarlett Johansson directs next because she's
Hell
really
yeah.
good.
Fuck yeah. I love that. Okay, cool.
But
Well,
that's me. So bring us home.
okay, I've only got a couple more and then we're good. So I'm going to start with Wuthering Heights, and in
Yes.
quotation marks. I think this is worth the watch personally for anybody, especially if you're watching it as a couple. I
This
would
this
highly recommend.
this movie feels like this year's like Joker fully ado. Like
It is. It feels that way because people are. I no. That's the thing. You might think that, but watch Wuthering Heights and then The Bride, and it'll be hard to determine. But I would say, I think the way that people are treating The Bride, it feels like a little bit of that. But you're right. Wuthering Heights kind of got that vibe too. But I personally did not read the novel, so obviously, I think if that's really important to you, I don't think you're going to be super happy here.
yeah.
But that's why the title's in quotes. It's very much like a different point of view on the story. I thought Margot Robbie was great and Jacob Elordi. And my God, those are two beautiful people and their chemistry. Like I just wanted them to bone.
Yeah.
And when they did, I was like, finally. And I'll just say Jacob Elordi does so many things in that movie that like Nolan was more turned on by him almost than I was. He was like, holy fucking shit. And I was like, I know. Like there's just a scene where like Margot Robbie's like in the dark watching, like, and these people start having sex, and she's like, and before she makes a noise, his hand is like over her mouth, and he's like right behind her, and it's like, and he's like, it's like fucking like holy fuck, and he just is there for a while, and you're like, oh my god, it's like incredible. I don't know what about, and then like just little things, but also they get to, there's a lot of part of it where they're like feuding or like fighting with each other,
Yeah.
and I just thought it was a great story for what
Yeah.
they did, and they changed the ending and, like, thing with her character, which is, like, I think halfway through the book in general, but I actually thought that what they did was pretty relevant and, like, to right now, and I think it's interesting. It'd be a really good I think I'd love to hear anybody else's perspective. I know you haven't watched it, but, I highly recommend it. I think for the sex alone and the sexiness and horniness, definitely, but also, like, it's Emerald Fennell who did Barbie and who did Promising Young Woman, so the aesthetic's going to be incredible, and it is. And also just great
Wait,
performances.
you mean Saltburn, not Barbie.
Oh, sorry. She was in Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant Saltburn. Excuse me. And this is very much like similar to Saltburn, but I would say like it's not as much of the gross sex stuff as
Yeah.
Saltburn. So like if that turns you off, this is a little bit better. But yeah, overall, I think it was definitely worth the watch. I'd be curious what, especially you, Jace. I think you'd like it.
I'm excited to watch it because I also have not read the book. I'm also excited to watch it because I know Sarah is going to hate it because she read the book and Sarah hates how people interpret the book as a love story.
Yeah,
And so like I know she's gonna just lose her mind. So I'm gonna get multiple dynamics of entertainment
that's good
watching
though.
this movie. So
I love that. So it'll be a good time for you either way. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I think that one's definitely worth it. And then these three are kind of like lesser known films. I feel like people probably have not heard of them if you're not super in on found footage, but
it wouldn't be a Renee recommends
it would be.
without found footage.
I love found footage. I'm always watching. It's like there's certain genres like sharks, Yeti, Sasquatch. That's another one. I'll watch any movie with any of those things in them, or with sharks, or a lot of found footage, like pretty much anything. And I've seen a lot of bad ones, but I would say I'm going to give all three of these a thumbs up for different reasons. But
Yeah.
the first one I'm going to start with is Strange Harvest, which is my top recommendation
Yeah.
out of all three of these. If you haven't heard of it, it's structured exactly like a Netflix true crime documentary, which is why it scared me.
That came out last year, right?
Yeah, all three of these came out in 2025.
Okay.
But they're available to rent on demand. I don't think Strange Harvest might be on Hulu. I don't know, but I think these are only available on demand. But Strange Harvest is like it's like kind of a true crime documentary where they're like detectives looking back at a case, but it's a movie, so don't worry about it. But it's kind of got a killer, and you don't know what this guy, and it's kind of following his crime spree, and the detectives investigating it and figuring out what the fuck he was doing, and it's very like Lovecraftian, which I think is always encouraged in any movie I'm in, any horror film, but especially I love when they do it in found footage because it's like I think that's a cool element to bring to it. And all three of these honestly have Lovecraftian elements to them. So that's one of the big reasons I'm giving them all thumbs up. But I would say overall, Strange Harvest is definitely like I think just the best made film. And it could have been a documentary on Netflix. Like if you told me that was real, I mean, I'd be fucking crazy, but I'd be like, okay. Like the actors are really good where you don't feel like they're actors pretending to be in a documentary, right?
Yeah.
Man Finds Tape is very similar, where it's kind of like they're structuring it like a documentary thing. But that one kind of gets a little convoluted and is a little confusing, but it has some really standout moments and some very weird Lovecraftian shit. And it also it's like all about this town who's like under a spell of something, and we don't know by what, but there's this like mysterious man, and all these people start like going unconscious at the same time in the town. It's very weird. But it's a little bit messy and it's not perfect. And the actors in it who are pretending to be in a documentary about themselves, it's like very obvious that they're like acting, but it's fine. Dream Eater, which was I think it's like marketed as Eli Roth Presents Dream Eater, is the third one.
That's what comes to mind when I hear it.
And I think it was like these all debuted at festivals, but Dream Eater is I think the scariest out of all the three. It was very similar to Undertone, but better. It's like if you're following the couple from Undertone, which is like a couple who's like one of them sleep talking and saying some crazy shit in her sleep.
Yeah.
Dream Eater is about a couple, and the man is actually like it's the man who's having the problems, and he's the one talking in his sleep, but he's like crying or like saying, or like he's having conversations with something.
Yeah.
And so we're only hearing one side of his conversation, but his girlfriend is filming it, and the therapist recommended they go to a secluded cabin in the fucking snow to like film all this and go through it all. And it
the therapist is in on it.
Literally, I was like, what the fuck? What kind of therapist is that? That's the worst advice ever. They're definitely never coming back from this.
Yeah.
But out of all of the three, that one's the scariest. And I think it's like really effective and really well done. And that's one of the reasons I didn't like Undertone, is because I was like, I feel like I already watched this movie, but from the actual interesting point of view, not the people who are finding the tape afterwards. Yeah. This was from the people who were like living it. And
Yeah,
and it kept evolving, but it felt Lovecraftian, where like it wasn't just a demon. It was like some otherworldly or like like something that I haven't ever heard of and sounded like some
yeah,
other weird old god kind of a shit, which I
yeah.
think is always the more interesting way to go. So that was Dream Eater, Man Finds Tape, and Strange Harvest. I think all three of those are really great found footage. And the fact that like they all just came out last year, that's good. That's looking good because I feel like we get so many found footage movies all the time. So the fact that I have three good recommendations is like I feel blessed.
All right. Well, that is all of our recommendations for movies to watch and maybe to skip. And I hope that's enough for all of you, because that's it for a minute.
Yeah, we're not going to give you any recommendations because that was quite a lot, like for at least for a couple weeks, maybe a month or two. But that was a pretty good list. I feel like you have plenty to work through. And if there's anything that you watched that we didn't recommend, that's on you. Don't come crying to us when you hate it. All right. But do with our Rex what you will.
And I hope for everyone listening, I hope this gives you an idea of how much thought goes into the movies that we decide to do full episode on. Because
there's a lot of options.
We watch a lot of movies, and just because we watched a movie doesn't mean that there's necessarily an hour's worth of something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. So thankfully, though, I feel like one that we didn't even mention last week, which is great because now we have something new and fresh to talk about for next week. It's something that we do recommend to watch.
Yes.
Another one. So you could always pretty much guarantee we're banking on the fact that like either it's on a streaming service or you'll enjoy the movie if we're doing a full episode. So, Chase, do you want to tell what we're doing next week?
I'll do it this week. We are talking about a movie that we personally feel got a little too much hate, and we want to do a little redemption tour for it because it's coming up on Netflix, and it's called Him. It's directed, or actually, I don't know who directed it. I was gonna
Justin Tipping, it says.
Yeah, Justin Tipping, produced by Jordan Peele. It's got Marlon Wayans in it. It is the rare, and I'm going to say rare, I'm not going to say only, but it's the only one I can think of a mixture of a horror movie and a sports movie. And it's really good. Like,
I agree. I feel like it was, especially a lot of the like cinematography, a lot of the like style the director has. And I just feel like overall, I just don't understand all the hate. I agree. I feel like I was like waiting for something terrible to happen, but I was like, I didn't feel this way when I watched Psycho Killer. I was like, nah, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I understand when people were like, oh, what the hell? But this, I was like, this is actually like a pretty good movie. So I feel like maybe it's on Netflix. People will actually now watch it because I feel like it didn't really get a lot of, butts into theaters, but it did. It looks like it made $1 million. It looks like the budget was $27 million and it made $28 million. So hey, it's still technically in the positive.
Not
I know
including
that's not
marketing costs.
Yeah. But maybe it says it's produced by Jordan Peele as well. So I don't know. Maybe because Scary Movie 6 is coming out, that will make people feel like, oh, let me go back and watch this with Marlon Wayans. Because like I would say this is a very unique performance. Like we haven't seen you've seen it a few times, like him in serious stuff, but like I feel like I'm mostly, you're used to seeing him in comedy roles. So to see him here, he does some comedy, like funny stuff, but he's also like, I just thought he was very impressive in him. So I'm excited to talk about it.
I mean, and we'll dig into it more when we talk about this, but like the only reason I can think of why this movie got so much hate is I don't know if there's a larger gap in genres of people who love sports movies and love horror movies. I feel like I'm a rare breed in that case, because I thought this movie was like a perfect blend. It was a perfect 50-50 of the motivational sports underdog story and then cult horror. And I thought it was really well done. So
I did too. I feel like this one just gets, I think you're right. It's just like, is there an audience for this? That's basically going to probably be the theme of the whole episode. What is there an audience for this? And like, is there any other films like it? Because it's like, I think it's cool to take risks, but I think you're right. It's like maybe there's just not that many people who like overlap there, and that's why this movie's just kind of like, I think regular horror fans went and saw it, but it's like I don't think that they were tapping into any larger market.
Yeah, I
They
think
thought
it's
maybe they would.
I think the horror fans that went and saw it that didn't like it, I think that they don't like sports or sports stories. And then anyone who saw it for the sports aspect, they were like, I don't like horror movies. Like there's enough to draw people in there, but then like maybe not enough for the people who exclusively watch one or the other.
Yeah, totally.
But that'll be fun to talk about because it's a good movie. It's a unique movie, and
it's streaming on Netflix, so you can watch it there with a subscription, so you don't even have to rent it. And personally, I think this will make for a very good discussion, regardless of anybody's feelings. But we'd love to hear from you if you have thoughts.
Well, that's it for this week, and we'll see you next week on the regular exclusive podcast.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.